This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
All right, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mind, Body, and Laughter podcast with Herman and Tanya. All right, here we go. We already off to a good start tonight. Yeah, so
What do you want to talk about?
glad you guys can join us. Like, subscribe if you're new. And tonight, I saw a little interesting video. A guy was speaking and he said, he asked the question, can a good relationship be boring?
Who asked this question?
It was some video on TikTok I saw, and they were talking about that. It was actually pretty good too, though.
I think at times it can be. But,
yeah,
I mean, boring or just complacent?
he was mentioning both. He was mentioning it complacent. He said he was really going that it really isn't the spouse's responsibility to make it exciting to an extent, because he said that's one thing, right? Because I'm not there for your entertainment. I'm good there to do the things I'm supposed to do in a relationship. So it's not.
So then what is the responsibility of a partner in a relationship if it is not entertainment?
I think it can play a part in it, but if he's doing all the things or she's doing all the things that you want in a relationship outside of, but
well, definitely relationships has highs and lows. So it
absolutely.
isn't always going to be a circus or entertainment all the time, nor would I want to be that entertained all the time. I don't want to be that stimulated. So I can appreciate the downtime.
Yeah. And sometimes that excitement could also mean drama. So, I mean,
do I excite you all the time?
Like what? What do you mean?
Do I excite you all the time?
No one excites anyone all the time, Tanya.
Do I excite you 90% of the time?
You excite me quite a bit. That's why I'm still here. No, that's not the only reason why, but it helps. It helps, that we.
Am I predictable?
Nah. I mean, you have some habits that you do, but no, you'll fly off the handle every now and again. Yeah, so you're fine.
I don't think I fly off the handle.
Pick your camera up. I mean, what happened? Yeah, it's too. Yeah, like you need to have space over your head.
You have too much space over your head, just so you know.
Not.
Actually, you do.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, it can't be like, I mean, all the time, but you have habits, but I wouldn't say you're predictable. No, absolutely not. No. You think I'm predictable?
Yeah.
Okay.
In a good way, though. You're reliable. I can count on you. I know your ways. I mean, every once in a while you're, kind of throwing me for a loop, and I'm like, oh, where'd that come from? But you're pretty steady. But I like predictable.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing.
I don't think either is bad. To be unpredictable sometimes either. So, they all. I mean, it's give and take with a whole lot of things. You can't have too much of anything. Too much of anything is never a good thing, as far as I'm concerned. Too much predictability, too much unpredictability, too much excitement, too much. Well, I mean, things you have to change and you grow. So,
right.
But yeah, but they were. He was saying that because and when he was younger, that you wanted the excitement all the time. You want this, you wanted that. He said, but then as time went on, you're like, I actually appreciate the quote unquote boring a whole lot more.
Well, boring has not a nice
connotation. Yeah, it does. It comes off as in a bad way, but he said that, but it's not a bad thing.
Well, definitely you change and you evolve as you get older, because it's 9:43 now, and ever since 5 o'clock, I've been wanting to get home to get into bed. I can't even imagine going out. I mean, if you're here, you kind of make me want to go out. Let's go grab a drink. Let's go have something to eat. But when, especially now during the fall and winter, when it gets dark at like 5 o'clock, all I can think about is going home and relaxing with my dog or reading. I don't have to go out. I don't have any desire to go out. I have a desire to do other things. I have a desire to travel, but then I can appreciate the downtime because I'm always gone.
Yeah.
So, in a few weeks, we'll be gone again.
Yeah.
Back to back, I'll be gone. So I can appreciate this downtime or the boringness of it.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
my
I don't like that word too much either. But I mean, I get what they're saying in to an extent, but I just don't like that particular choice of words. But I mean, it is what it is.
I
That's what.
count my days when I can be home, but I can appreciate the downtime. And then my job has me where I'm not in an office. I'm always on the road. So when I'm not moving, it feels good. I just got home. After I finish work, I have to run him to 3 or 4 different um, workouts and practices. Then I got to get home and feed him and take care of the dog. And, Mondays are crazy, but that's why Sundays I don't like to do anything. And I think it's important to have that self-care. One or 2 days should be devoted to your self-care. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. How do I turn this off of this iPad? I mean, it's a
Who
computer.
texting you?
That's the group text for the game, but I don't. I'm trying to. It's not on my phone, but let me see if
But
I can.
as I was saying, what
Go
does
ahead.
self-care look like? Self-care to me, maybe it is boring, but I like to plan my days where I don't have to do anything. And Sundays is usually that for me. And if it's not a Sunday, then I need a day where I can just not answer any phone calls, read, and just have a few hours to myself. And
I don't think self care is boring. I mean that maybe that's just me, but that's
no,
just not
I don't know. And every self-care is different for everyone,
true.
right? So self-care is important, but what does that look like for you? So it may be boring for me. Some people, they want to go out, go shopping. Self-care means taking care of themselves. I can see I didn't get my hair done. I don't feel like getting my hair done. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to, I just like to be stable in the house. And that's self-care for me.
Well, self care.
In light of what's been happening, this is the Monday after the results of the election, and a lot of people are looking to see what is self-care for them because this was very overstimulating. The whole campaign, the 100 days of Vice President Harris, and trying to predict what's going to happen. And now we're on the other side of taking a deep breath and trying to figure out what does that look like, you know what does that look like, because we got a long road ahead of us.
Okay. Self care for me is actually to unwind from everything.
Right,
That's
sometimes
that's my
you don't
first
like
thing.
the news,
Unwind
right?
from all the everything. I don't get on social media. I don't. I don't watch anything that would, I guess, take me out of my zone or just, I mean, out of my energy. My positive energy field. I just
It's
don't.
because of the world we live in. It's sometimes easy to get sucked into what's going on because I don't watch the news. I love listening to urban radio on Sirius, and you've heard me listen to that. And it's enlightening. There's an episode with Marie Daniels where she does a meditation, a gratitude session where you're breathing in and out. And people, I mean, it feels good to take that deep breath, like, and many people aren't taking those deep breaths, and they're running, their bodies are running on overdrive, and they're not relaxing. They're not taking that time to self-care. And even if, both you and I, a lot of times, all the time, you start your day with meditation.
Yes.
I probably maybe 5 days out of the week, depending on how I'm running in the morning with the kids. But if I didn't do it in the morning, then I take the end of the day to really just do that meditation and, the downtime where I'm not getting on the phone, I'm not looking at social media, and I'm reading. So,
Yeah, I keep away from when I do my shutdown. I keep away from all of it. I don't listen to the radio or nothing. I might read a book, or I will may watch a certain type of documentary, but it's a documentary that's self healing, that's healing, that's positive energy, that's raising your vibration. I watch those type of things when I'm in my little shutdown mode, and I do it frequently. Even if sometimes it's just an hour out the day where I'm just like, all right, I'm off from none of it. Like this
but there's
weekend,
days that you really don't have to. You don't, like today. You probably didn't even go out the house.
nah, I
And
did.
a lot of days it's like that for you, where 9 times out of 10, I'm out of the house because that's where my job takes me. So I'm around people. I have, different energies and different people pulling at me. I work in healthcare, so I see a lot of tragedy. I see a lot of death. And, it's vitally important for me to come home and just really take it down. Because if I don't take care of myself, then everybody around me feels it. And we know, we know, but what people don't realize is how stress can kill you.
Oh,
People like,
absolutely.
oh my gosh, um,
I just posted something about that the other day.
and I just sent you an article on how exercise staves off cancer.
Yes,
You
it
know,
does. I
today's
actually
today's
wanted to look at that, and I might repost that actually.
yeah, I was like, oh, this is definitely him. Today's
Yeah.
Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans out there, especially my favorite veteran, my father. But I went to about 4 or 5 different long-term care facilities
Hmm.
and, paid homage and thanked a lot of the veterans for their service. I saw about 50 veterans today. And just to see the condition that they were in, and can you imagine the stress that they had to deal with and how that now takes a toll on your body?
It takes the biggest toll. I mean, just for mentally having to see
Mentally.
some of the things that they saw. Some of the things that they saw, no human being should have to see in their lifetime. I mean, I know you know the story of the incident I saw when I was a young kid, but that's just one little thing. I mean, not little thing, but it's just
That's
one
not a
thing.
little thing.
You
That's a
see,
pretty
well, I mean, it's a big.
big
That's why I
thing
said I didn't mean to say
for a
it's a little
child.
thing.
For a
For a
child,
child, it's a big thing. But I mean, but for somebody who sees a lot of that, like I saw one, it was a big deal. But they see many on the regular, their
I mean,
friends.
not all of them. Some weren't during active duty because I would ask
Yeah,
them,
some. I mean, some. Yeah, I mean, but
but they certainly served our country, but a lot of them were not in active duty, so they didn't see anything. Maybe one was a welder, you know.
okay.
So it's trauma is trauma, of course, but and not to make light at all what you went through. That you were a kid and you saw something, and thankfully, you know how to de-stress.
Yeah, even at an early age, I had a what they call a very vivid imagination. So I was really able to
Still
take
have a
myself,
vivid imagination.
yeah, true. But I was able to take myself out of where I was. Like, in the projects, I was able to see other things. I was able to take my mind and be somewhere else. So it just kind of helped me get through a lot of the things that I saw as a kid. So And even though I didn't quite know what I was doing then, I mean, I was doing it just off of instinct. But then as I got older and I started reading more about these things, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. And now I just try to make it better. It's funny that it's almost harder now. Like you know, because you done fought off all of these things that come your way. You got religion, you got politics, you got this, you have that, you have all these things coming at you that you have to push away. Where sometimes to the point where you can't even focus on your external, your internal, trying to make yourself become more positive. You want to make yourself level up. You want to raise your vibration. You want all these things you want to do. It's just you come with. That's why I have a habit of just shutting all that stuff off because it's
So
just
I,
coming
to
from
your
so much.
point,
Even if you're not paying attention to it, you don't think you're paying attention, but your brain picks up everything.
and to your point, when I go into, I also don't like to visit a whole lot of houses because they have the news looping, and that agitates me. Loud noises. The news, MSNBC, definitely not Fox, but all of that just goes into your brain. And when you're sleeping, I tell people, turn off your TV, put on meditation music, put on like we do, because you have to be careful what goes into your brain,
Man,
right?
people realize
People don't
your
realize if they're
brain
like
is
this all the time,
unbelievable.
that's when your body brings on diseases
The, the
and
brain
stress.
is
I mean,
like phenomenal.
my aunt is in her 80s and she does not look like it. And what she'll tell you, she says, I don't let anything bother me. And that takes work.
Yes, it does.
That takes
It
work.
does.
As they say, you have to stay in the vortex. And how do you do that?
Stay in the vortex and out of the matrix. Yeah, because that matrix is
So,
a monster, boy. It had you running like a rat and a hamster wheel, running around in a circle. Because this program, this design,
nobody comes out alive.
it's a monster. Yeah, it's a monster. No one does, but at the same time, you able to first recognize that it is that, then you can take the steps on fighting certain things. Because either way, no matter what, you still kind of tethered to this. You tethered to this because you got to work, you got to get the money, you got to do all this until this system is actually broken.
Yeah,
Where you can,
but if people downsize their lifestyle,
yeah, that's a start. Absolutely.
right? You don't need the designer bags. You
You
don't
don't.
need the designer car. You don't need the big house. You need to live, you
You,
need to exercise, drink water, live stress free.
you use some of that money to tend to to tend to your yard and farm and grow some stuff. You can grow your own food.
Right.
We just have our minds on all the wrong stuff because it's insane how we fell into this system where
Right.
we pay for something that the universe, God, whatever you believe in, provided for us for free. People just walked around, they moved from place to place because if it was the land was plentiful here, the water shift, people move just like the animals do. They move where the food was better food, but now you sitting here and we can't grow nothing. We stuck waiting for them to deliver food to the grocery. We're paying taxes on something that you supposedly own already. Is you sit back and look at everything sometime and you really kind of say like, "Man, we pretty damn
I
stupid.
mean, you like
We pretty
people,
stupid."
they work so they can have the big house, the nice car, the handbags, the clothes. But at
Okay.
the end of the day,
What did that handbag get you?
right. So to your point, if I before, I'm not gonna say before, but every once in a while I'll splurge on something, and then I'm like, doesn't make me feel any different from before. So after you get it, now what? You know, sometimes you'll just have it sitting over there in the corner because you don't want to use it because it's special. It's like using the good silverware, right? So I don't, I don't know. I've
All
just
that for those
evolved
few
so much,
compliments.
and I'm not judging anybody that wants the big house, the big cars, and all that. I downsize so that I don't have to work that hard. I don't want to work that hard. I want
And
to be able to come home at a certain time and play with my dog, run the kids around, but I don't want to work that hard. I want to just work so that I can have the basic necessities and travel.
And I've had some of this stuff. So, and then you just wake up one day and just was like, what was all of it for?
Right.
Like,
Now I got a
what did I
closet
all
full
do
of
all this?
hamper.
I had this, you had this big old giant house. You're doing nothing with it. You have this car that, what you get a couple of things that you might get a compliment or two for. Because it's really, you
Right.
almost look at
Searching
it
for
like
the
you're not really
compliment.
buying it. Right. But you almost look right. And if you don't get it, boy, whoo, damn, boy. So you almost like getting these things for other people. You're not even getting them for yourself. After a while, you start realizing that. Well, that's the way I realized. I can't
I
speak
mean,
for
but I
everybody.
do need a big car
How I
because I got
realized
like
it.
5
I
or 6
realized I was
kids.
getting it for myself. I mean, wasn't getting it for myself. I was getting it to, I guess I don't want to say impress other people, but into an extent,
You?
impress people. This is what
You?
you bought stuff. You had stuff for that, yeah. When I was younger, yes. But I ended up realizing that what did I really get out of that? That was pretty damn dumb. Because I do self-reflection. And then you still, but during my career, it was a little hard to always self-reflect because it was always like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. So I did it, but I didn't do it the way I should have at times. But then I really got a chance to really sit down. It was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what did you really accomplish from that? Did you enjoy what that paying for that? What did it do for you? They look
Get
at
you
it
more
like
girls. Got you more
nothing.
girls, didn't it?
No, it didn't. I didn't get one off of nothing like that. Huh?
You got plenty already, huh?
I would say more so the athlete thing may have, but not the things that I had. It wasn't the things that I had. It was me being an athlete. They was wanting to find out who this was, what this was like, and all the other stuff. It really wasn't about the car. I never got not one chick from a car. I really didn't even get them from the house. Just someone came to the house and they dropped it, but I never got them for that. So I just started realizing that that was pretty dumb. It didn't really make no sense. I'm not getting anything out of it, and I just stopped it altogether. But then focused more on going to see things. That's what I spent my money. And that's not for everybody. Some people don't want to see stuff, but that's
So
what
that's why it's important for people to
for me.
realize to see what it is that they want so that they can live their authentic life and not live for someone else.
But here's the thing. People got fed stuff for so long, some of them don't know that anymore. They don't even know what they like. They only know what they get fed on TV. Oh, I know I got to get this, I know how to get that, because this is what you're getting bombarded with all the time.
So that's why you got to turn off the TV and travel.
And then some of them turn off the TV and be like, what am I going to do? You have to, when you decide to do this, you have to take steps in preparation because it's not that easy. When it's almost like an addiction. After a while, you're like, damn, it's boring. I ain't nothing to do. Like pick up a book.
You have to train yourself. It's so funny because I was the one that used to come in, turn on the TV, and just had it on. And then the kids will come in and turn it on. Now they don't have TVs in their room. I mean, of course they have electronics, but they don't turn on the TV.
Right. Yeah.
So, but to each his own, like you said, not here to judge, but I think it's important for people to reflect and think about what it is that's going to bring happiness and joy to them.
Yeah.
And realize it's the same, not for everyone. I have girlfriends that love going out to eat, and I mean, I do also, but that's solely what they want to do. And again, it's up what you want to do, what brings you joy, what brings you fulfillment.
That doesn't bring me joy. I do not one bit.
Well, everyone is different.
I do it. I do go out and eat sometimes because it's nice to go out and have a nice time out. But that's not what that's not something I would say I look forward to. It's just something that I do sometimes as a good time, but that's not something I'm like, whoo, I'm all waiting for this new restaurant. No, I'm not. Now I'll be like,
well, it'd be nice with the company you're with. In the company,
the company you with is the only reason why I do it. Like when I'm here by myself, I don't go out. to eat. I
I
don't
know.
love to eat.
I haven't gone out to eat since you
Yeah,
you
I
got
love
either.
eating when I'm here by myself. I make my food. My own
I
prep. I
know.
don't love to eat.
I didn't either, and I could.
Or when somebody comes down, like when you come down, or when one of my friends come down, or something like that. Then I might go out a little bit, but I don't.
I'd rather stay here with my favorite puppy. He's so precious, mommy. Say hi.
He's
Wrong
not.
way.
He's not interested in making an appearance tonight. He like it's time to go to bed. So
Call him.
Chinga, Ching boy, man, it ain't working today.
He's
Okay.
slowly turning around.
He's
So,
like, man,
yeah.
I'm tired, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's late. It's Betty by time. But this was
Yeah,
a good discussion. We went from
absolutely was.
what's boring to self-care and what brings you fulfillment, which is always good to even revisit to see if that's changed, because what you know brings you joy or what doesn't stress you out, that could change.
Yeah,
People need
was
to have
tomorrow like
self-coping.
yesterday's price, not today's price?
Right.
I mean,
They need to have self-coping mechanisms also, because
absolutely.
people are up in arms of the way the election went, but I had to explain to my kids that what is important is on the local level, right?
Yes.
Get involved that
No,
way.
I just don't. Listen. For me, it really doesn't matter who got in. It's going to be rough anyway. Inflation has increased since we've been kids. Certain things are just going to be what it is. I just focus on, whatever happened now. I got to focus on what I need to do to still enjoy a good life, no matter who's in there. There's no guarantee whoever was in was going to do any better. There's no guarantee.
But one did promise that he was going to cut everything, and people voted for him for the economy, which we know that really wasn't the case anyway.
They're politicians. They're going to say whatever they need to say to both sides. That's just what it is. They're going to say what they need to say to win for the most part, and then most of them don't finish on majority of stuff that they say. They might get a thing or two, but they don't finish it, and they say we need another 4 years to get it done. So I mean, that's just nature of the beast. So that's why I don't really I don't get overworked on stuff like that. I mean, it is what it is. Whatever happened, they pick whatever. But local level is where you need to really focus on, because everything we do is really state run. The government, the presidential government don't do much for us other than it's just a disaster. Unless it's some type of disaster and we need federal aid. Other than that, it's your governor, it's your mayors, it's your things of that nature that where you gonna get stuff done. But again, I'd like to thank you guys for joining in. You actually got a little bit of mind, body, and you didn't get a whole lot of laugh today, but you got some mind and body today. So. You got some mind and body today, so we're keeping it going. So, thank you all for joining in once again. Mind, Body, and Laughter podcast with Herm and Tanya.
Have a good night.
See you guys soon.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.